In Mark chapter 9, we find a situation where a father comes before Jesus. This father has a son possessed by a spirit, and not even Jesus' disciples could cast the spirit out. And so this man pleads with Jesus that if Jesus could do anything, then would he have compassion and to help his boy? And in verse 23, Jesus gives a profound response to this father. In verse 23, he says, "If you can, all things are possible for one who believes." And the father responds immediately with something that maybe is just as profound, or at least as profound as something a person can say in response. The father of the child immediately cried out, "I believe, help my unbelief." The turmoil within this man, everything up to that point had proven useless and hopeless. Not even the disciples of Jesus could help his son. And yet, here's the teacher in front of him, calling upon faith in what the teacher can do for him. If you want to know what happens next, then I'll encourage you to go read the rest of chapter 9. But here's a bit of a spoiler. That man had at least some measure of faith. How often do we have times where all of our experience tells us to give up hope and belief, and yet there's the Master beckoning to ask of him with genuine faith? Does having an inner conflict of belief mean that you just don't believe at all? Or does having an inner conflict and still making the leap of faith show that the belief is stronger than the unbelief? I'll just let you all ponder on that one. I'm JD Cantrell. I'm not a perfect guy, but I'm a man who just loves Jesus and tries to follow him. May you be blessed.
Tracy Clinic, located at 740 Main Street in Tracy City, specializes in family medicine. Nurse practitioner Devin Land Lampley is now seeing patients. Call today for an appointment at 592-4242. Open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday. That's the Tracy Clinic, 592-4242.
Sequatchie Valley Electric Cooperative is here to serve you in your business or in your home. Pay your electric bill in the comfort of your own home with SVEC's new online billing service. Wouldn't it be nice to know in advance how much to budget for your electric bill each month? Visit us at one of our convenient offices or go online to www.svalleyec.com. Sequatchie Valley Electric, providing electrical service to over 33,000 homes and businesses in all or portions of Bledsoe, Grundy, Marion, Sequatchie, Coffee, Hamilton, Ray, and Van Buren counties in Tennessee. SVEC, staying up with today and working for tomorrow.
Hey, morning, everyone. First day of spring.
Yay!
I'm so excited. I was going to dress like Gayle, like, you know, had red on. And I'm like, no, I'll look like Christmas.
So I came in looking like Christmas.
But I love my red. Well, you know, it's his first day of spring, you know, and so I had I had to pull my yellow jacket out, and I've got my sandals on. But I'm in totally black, and it's going to be freezing today. How many winters do we have, Gayle?
Let's see, blackberry, blueberry. No, I'm just kidding. Blackberry. I don't know, 5 or 6.
There's like 5
I don't
or
know,
6.
but I'm good with just 2 more, or no more.
We're over it. And all of the devil spawn of the Bradford pears is out.
Yeah,
And they're so pretty. I know, they're so pretty. I've got Gayle VanHooser here. She is our Register of Deeds in Grundy County for long time.
1994.
94. Wow. Yeah. All right, so she kind of knows what she's talking about. And we had a question from Wondering, there's spammers and scammers out there.
Oh, yeah.
And
with everything, right?
Medicare starts us off into the spammers and scammers, and then we move into, let's take your land. And is it possible? So we're going to lay out the your job as it relates to land, which is everything, and tell us the processes someone would go through when they buy a piece of property.
So if I could just touch on the office first, just to kind of say this is what we do. Mm-hmm. So as the Register of Deeds, we're a constitutional office under the state of Tennessee's Constitution. The state of Tennessee, our legislators, lay out laws that govern how I run the office. So I'm not a legal guru. I'm not a judge. I'm not an attorney. So I don't judge the legal sufficiency of a document. And I get a lot of questions about that, but that's not a part of who we are or what we do. The law says that before a document is recorded in your office, first of all, we record anything. We are just a records keeper. I say I'm a glorified librarian, but I'm not even glorified. I'm just a librarian of your real estate records. So I'm holding those and giving those out to the public as needed for you or for you personally or for anyone. We are a completely public records office. So anything you want in there, you get, with the exception of military discharges, and I protect those. But anyway, by law. So the law says that let's take a deed, for example. We do deeds, mortgages, liens, anything related basically to your land. I'll just give you a deed example. And there are, by code, there are about 8 things that I have to, I'll say 8 things. I always say 7, but anyway, 8 things that I have to look for to determine if I can put that deed to record. And I won't bore you with those, but basic things like prepared by, a deed reference to where the prior owner got ownership, and also a signature of the person that is conveying the property in front of a notary. You can't just bring in a document with your signature on it. You can't just come in and say, hey, Gayle, add my daughter's name to this property. That's a legal transaction that conveys property. So even if it's a portion of the property or an interest in the property, that is an executed document. And those 8 things must be on there before I can even put it to record. So with that being said, in order for a deed to be recorded, let's just say I'm buying property from Iva Michelle, and the deed comes in, and we look at it, and it has prepared by, it has Iva's signature. It shows where Iva got ownership. It has Iva's signature in front of a notary, and the other things that we look for, and we record. I haven't checked as a register. It's not. We are actually prohibited from doing title searches for folks or giving legal advice.
Oh,
wow. I don't know if it's prohibited, but not recommended because you don't want advice from Gayle about a legal advice. But we just accept that. We don't check to see if you actually owned it or if you have the right to convey it to Gayle or anything about that. We look, and it has 8 things on there, and we put it to record. We are a fee collecting office too. We collect for the state of Tennessee if there's a transfer of property and on the value or consideration, whichever is greater. And so we collect for the state of Tennessee by law, and we send that to them at the end of the month. But generally speaking, when a deed comes into the office, it just has to be checked for those. We have a little checklist. If you're a new employee, got you a little checklist, and you go down and you find those items and you put it to record. Now, did Iva actually own it? I have no way of knowing. I I mean, I guess a title search could be done in the office and look back, but it's not what we are supposed to do. We take it at good faith as it's presented at the office, and if it meets the recording requirements, we put to record. So those things, a lot of times people will come in and say, Gayle, if a deed comes in on my mama, don't record it. And I have to tell them, and this really sets people back because they're like, you mean you have to record it even if I've told you not to? I said, well, if a deed came in today and the grantor was Gayle VanHooser, and I know I didn't sign it, but if it met recording guidelines, I would have to put it to record. My next call would be to an attorney that says, hey, I've got to get this stopped or set aside or something. So then the legal process would start. Sadly, that's the way it is with everything. Is if something's done wrong to you, you have to start a legal process to get it corrected, right? So, but anyway, I kind of ramble on those things. So draw me back in.
Well, no. So I'm just looking at the checks and balances of the system because that's, bad actors will try to. There's always loopholes.
Yes.
There's always loopholes, and you got to it's like a whack-a-mole contest. And so as technology changes, we have to adapt, and there's bad actors, and so we're always a whack-a-mole. So just for this process, let me just clarify. So I'm selling the property because the big thing is you took my property and I didn't know about it. Right? That's the scammer part.
That's the scam part.
Someone took my property and I had no idea. All right. So in this process, your signature, my property, I'm selling it to someone. I sign it, the notary, Republic, the notary.
That person.
The notary who has to go through a lot of checks and balances to become a notary. Right? It's kind of not just easy. I mean, it is, but it isn't. And their name is on the line. If they put that stamp on and they're not doing their processes, then it's golden. You that's your checks and balances that your signature that you have said, I am selling this. That person has said, yes, that's her. Okay. But, once again, people can lie and do things for money that we just don't know about. But in the processes, that's what goes on.
So rubber meets the road, really, to protect your property with that notary.
With that, oh man.
Yeah. Because if a notary seal is there or an attempt to notarize is there as the register, I must record it.
And it's
if it has other things, so.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so those notaries never knew how important that was.
They're very important, and most of them take their job very, very seriously. But there are bad actors, and I'll use Graceland as an example.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Tell us about that one.
So first of all, in Grundy County, I've been there 30 years, and I don't have knowledge of ever having any fraudulent deed recorded. I don't have a court order that has set aside a fraudulent deed that I have knowledge of. Excuse me. So good, right?
Yay,
so that's good.
Years.
That doesn't mean that it's not coming or will come. So we should be proactive in trying to do this. And I got an answer for that, or a little bit of an answer. So, but in Graceland, I think that the bad actor drew up a document. They did some, I don't know if they were a notary or I don't know, but I don't know all the details of that. But they actually filed a lien and were going to get ready to foreclose on a property that they had no lien, really. But it was of record in the registrar's office because it met recording guidelines. It got set aside in court, and they had no merit, but it was a process, and that the estate of Lisa Marie, I guess, or Elvis had to go through to protect that property. And again, I'm not an attorney and don't even know the process, but that's where, it did get recorded in the Shelby County Register of Deeds office, my understanding, and it was because that it met recording guidelines. and they had no, they were just, okay, there's things, and let's record it, and put it on through. So with that being said, there are ways, I don't know, and thankful that I don't know, to work around the system and be a bad actor and try to steal someone's property. But thankfully, I've not seen that. But in the Grundy County Registrar's Office and several registrar's offices across the state, we offer a free service. And it's a real simple, it's called mylandalert.com. And it's actually offered to us through the best computer vendors in the world, Progress. They're located kind of local in Smyrna, so they're not a New York City firm or anything like that. So good folks that try to help us to help you, because they know how important our constituents are to us, and we want to try to protect as best as possible. So we have this free service. You can call the office. You can just take this information, go online, and sign up for it. It's do you still have to say www.mylandalert.com?
I don't.
Okay, so mylandalert.com, and it's a real simple thing. You go online and you to that, and you fill out this little form. You'll have to have an email address, and you can follow, because our records are public, you can follow any name you want to. So like in your situation, you could follow any company that you like, you might be involved in,
like a piece of property that you really like, and you're curious to see
maybe
what's going on.
It doesn't limit you because our records are public. So I'll just when I signed up on it, and I wanted to test it, and I knew I wasn't going to have anything coming in more than likely. So I put the bank's name on there because they get things every day.
Oh, yeah.
So I got an email right away as soon as I indexed that document. Bam, an email went to and it said Citizens Tri-County Bank has a release on file at the registrar's office. So anyway, I just used that as an example, and then I, of course, canceled that because I don't want to get all those emails. But I signed up my name and Jerry's name, and my first name is Nancy, those of you that don't know, so I put Nancy Gayle VanHooser.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, nobody knows that. I mean, it's my granny's name. I'm proud of it.
I know.
But my mama called me Gayle.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, you can go on there, put whatever names you want to follow, maybe some different spellings. Like my name is sometimes spelled Gail, so I could put VanHooser, Gail, to follow that name. And what happens is, as soon as a document is brought to the registrar's office, and I've checked it, and it meets the recording guidelines, and I put it to record, and it has Iva Michelle's name on it, if she's signed up for this free service, it will send her an email immediately and says, there's a document of record in the registrar's office. It doesn't send you the document, but it lets you know. So if it is a fraudulent document, you call and say, hey, Gail, what is this? We email it over to you, or we tell you what it is, however you want to do. And right away, you have knowledge that someone has fraudulently, can't say that word, had a notary to do bad stuff against you.
Yeah, I give my name.
And you immediately, have to take action to stop that or have it set aside. You can't come in and just say, and just imagine, Gail, that's not mine. I can't do anything about that.
Oh, my goodness.
And the reason is I'm not a judge. It met recording guidelines, and it had to be put to record. That's the law to Gayle VanHooser as the registrar, is it must be put to record if it meets recording guidelines.
No matter, even if you know it personally, that it's fraudulent.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't know if you've
well, you're right.
I don't hear from you every day. I hear from you every so often.
That's interesting.
But I don't know that you've not sold it or whatever, conveying it. So it's, if you can imagine what that looks like times however many properties we have in our county, there's no way that I would have knowledge of that. And that's why the law was set like that.
Yeah, there's no
and it's
way.
going to be an inconvenient thing for you.
So do I hire a lawyer at that point? Is there anything a person can do without a lawyer?
I don't know. because I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that if it was me, I would call an attorney right away. This is what's happened. What do I need to do? I mean, because they're going to know.
And then you have to pay the attorney fees to get
Yeah, but hopefully, like whoever the bad actor was, you can get that reimbursed back to, I don't know how that works.
I don't
through
either,
court.
but
ask
it's a process.
for, yeah. So, I can say that it's never happened that I have knowledge of.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. I do think there's a lot in the media, not in the media, on advertisements and things online now that I don't want to call out any specific companies that are selling protection because this world is full of scams. I do want to talk about some other scams, so don't let me forget that. But so there's a lot of companies that have sprung up to protect your identity, to protect, all these things from happening to you, possibly land fraud or financial fraud or whatever. So I think that being on TV a lot and in the media, social media and otherwise, I think that has drawn people's attention to it, which is a good thing. And of course, they're trying to sell a service, but and that I'm not saying that's not a good thing. It could be for different people, but this is a free service. We're not going to charge you anything for it, and it will monitor any land that you have in Grundy County only. Now, other counties around the state, if they usually have a fraud alert system, and it's just an alert. It doesn't stop the fraud. It's just an immediate alert to you to, hey, you can move on it right away and keep anything from happening.
That's just bottom line on that one. All right, what's this online? Can I buy and sell and register property online?
It is called e-filing.
E-filing.
Mm-hmm. The state legislature, I believe it was in 2005 or 7, were approached by title companies or whomever, land title, or for a bill that would allow e-filing in counties. So that there were checks and balances in place as I feel our state legislature and federal, national, I think they do their due diligence very well to look at the cause and effect that, anything that they pass through as law protects us as people. So they did, in the state of Tennessee, they approved, it's called e-filing or electronic filing of documents. But that person that asked to be a submitter to the registrar's office has to go through some checks and balances. And they just introduced a bill, and I believe it's passed the House. I don't have specifics on it, but maybe we can look it up and you can talk about it later, which puts a little bit more because you can't foresee all of the possibilities.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah. So that puts a little bit more restrictions on those submitters. When I say submitters, title companies, attorneys that want to e-file instead of paying for an overnight, because they're very time-sensitive documents. Everything in our office has to be noted at the exact time that we received it because we are a race state. So anyway, I won't get off on that. But so the e-filing process did happen through state legislature. This year, they're upping the ante a little bit so that there's some more checks and balances on the submitter side, the people that can file with the Register of Deeds across the state. And it has passed the House, and I believe it's going to Senate floor maybe this week or so. But so it's passed out committee. So it's a protection mechanism to help offset possible fraud that could happen through e-filing. Same way it could happen across the counter, though. This woman in Memphis could generate a document.
Yeah.
She could e-file it, or she could bring it in. It's still a generated document.
It has a notary on it.
It has a notary on it. It has those other 7 or 8 things that we have to look for. It has everything, so it has to be put to record, whether it be by e-file or by across the counter. So e-filing is, I think, beneficial for title companies to make sure they get their documents of record. They've secured the title please always get a title search done anytime you buy property. Please.
Always.
Those are great people and they take care of you. But those e-filing situations are taking place across the state, and it's to benefit you. It's going to get your deed in, and you can close, and I get it 10 minutes later. And if it meets recording guidelines,
you still check it.
Everything that comes in. Well, I have to. It's the law.
Yeah, but they've already done their checks.
They did their checks and balances, but an attorney. They could have missed prepared by, or they could have missed a notary seal. If that notary seal is not on that electronic document, I type it in and it goes right back to them. Within 5 seconds, it could be corrected and sent back to us. So it's it helps with the time sensitive. I think a few years back, they changed the law where you had to have things done, recorded in the registrar's office within a certain amount of time, like less than 2 or 3 days. Mm-hmm. That's when this e-filing process sprung up, because it was for small rural counties. Sometimes, you couldn't even get an overnight for the next day.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, that's why the necessity for that, it sprang from.
We have to adapt.
Yeah,
really do. But you double check it when it comes in.
It comes in, and if it doesn't have the things required by law, it gets sent back. And I tell them, these are the things I'm missing, and then they have to work on their side to correct it. They're swearing when they send it to us. Everything that comes into our office must be the original document.
Original.
By state law. It must be signed and notarized, an original notary. Okay? We have some or if it's like a filer is sending it in, a submitter, they are swearing on an affidavit that they hold the original in their hands, and they are a licensed attorney, and and we have the original in my hands, and I'm submitting that to you. So I can't see that original seal because it's a scanned copy. But the liability falls back on them because they're swearing that is the original. So
you don't get the original then at an e-file.
Mm-mm.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
But a sworn statement from them that says that they have the document in their hand.
That's your checks and balances.
That's my check and balance.
And where legal comes in if there's a dispute.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about that notary thing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of power there.
A lot of power. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me.
Whatever
you have other questions?
No, whatever you
want.
So
I did want to talk about. There's some things that you all are getting probably in the mail. My mom gets one once a week. House warranty, or
oh my goodness,
or an offer to buy your land,
yes,
possibly. And I don't know that there's true scams, but I feel like they're preying. Of course, she's 91 years old, yay,
Mom.
And so a lot of elderly folks like myself,
we're getting
fall
up there.
to that, have those things come in, and they're concerned about paying their bills and things. One major thing that we see, and I tell every document that comes in, I give it back to the person if they're at the counter, or I mail it back to if they've mailed it in, is that you're probably going to get a letter in about 2 weeks, and it says that we will provide you with a copy of your, I think they call it a grant deed or something, but it'll cost you $120, $130. So sign up, and and it has your name on it. So you purchase land, it'll have Iva Michelle, it'll have the address of where you purchased. Because guess what? Our records are what?
Public
record. And bad actors can get a hold of that information, send you a letter, ask for money for a copy of your deed.
Yeah.
And so we just tell everybody, when this is recorded, you've paid everything. Except your taxes, so don't forget to pay Tyler.
Don't forget to pay the taxes.
But so when that letter comes in, just throw it away. If you have a question about it, call me. Or
it's a
whatever.
Service. It's a scam. It's whatever.
Yeah. But they're offering you a copy of your deed, and guess what? The mayor several years ago opted, the mayor and the commission, not to charge local citizens, if you ask for a copy of your deed. Nice. So it's free.
Nice.
So my deal is better than their deal.
Much better.
Much better. Not $120. Don't send anybody any money ever, except for the tax guy.
So don't.
And make sure it's the tax guy.
Are there anything? Yeah, because I mean, our elders are getting hit right and left.
Oh, all the time.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you? And you pick up the phone, and if you've said anything on there that says yes, they will snip it, and then they will add you to whatever.
Yeah, they do that in our office. Have for years about the copy machine.
What?
They'll call and say, "I was needing to get the number off your copy machine," and so I just say, "This is a government office, and I don't think you want to be scamming." No, they usually hang up when I say government office. But anyway,
that's crazy.
You could try that at home. Yeah. So it's everywhere. But the latest thing that I saw, I think it was in Shelbyville. My friend down there, the register, sent me a picture of it. And it's a check. It's a letter and an actual check for their offer for your property. Well, your property's probably valued at a whole lot more than that. And it may be a deal that they would come through with. Or, I don't know. But please do not sell your property by a check that's come to you in the mail. If you sign off on something, it might be a commitment to sell that property, or just
if you cash that check, then you have said yes. Basically.
And I don't even know if it's a real check, but it appears to be a real check, and they're giving you an offer and a form to sign or something. And once you've signed that form, you're locked into whatever that contract was that you didn't read because all you saw was the check.
Yeah, you're like, ooh.
Yeah. So this one was $100 and something thousand. He said he looked it up, and that property, the customer brought it into him, or citizen, and the property was actually valued at 200 and something. So, but still, if I'm having a hard time, that 100 may look really good, and I have no idea what my property's worth, and I might sign, I'll take that.
The devil
you see what I'm
dresses
saying?
up pretty, man.
So you have to be very, very proactive. And I tell my mom, when the phone rings, if you don't know them, just hang up. Don't even say anything.
Yeah, because they can record it. AI is just crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of people contacting our citizens about, hey, I want to buy your property.
Yes.
That's happening
huge.
Huge.
Over. Yes.
And, anything, I mean, they can do that.
Yeah. And I have seen a few deeds come in, and I recognize that the buyer of the property was one of these companies or whatever, LLC, that try to buy up. And they've, for some people it might be okay, but most of the time your property's valued at a lot more than what that offer is going to be. So,
especially these days, it's crazy. Everyone should hold on, baby, because it's getting crazy.
I was sharing with you earlier about, of course, COVID changed all of our lives, but I'd say we tripled our workload during COVID because people were buying and people were moving here, and
they're getting
deeds and getting out of these big cities. And the one little funny that we would always say is, oh, well, they're not from here. You could tell by the name, and I don't mean any harm by that at all.
It's just a name that we're not used
accustomed to.
That's
and we still see some family transfers, and it seems to be leveling out a little bit now, I think. But anyway, the deeds office is a fun place to be.
Yes, it is.
I'm thankful that you reached out to me, or your viewer reached out to you.
Well,
I know I haven't answered it because I don't know the cause and effect of the legal process.
Yeah.
But if you'll use these basics, anytime you buy or sell property, make sure, especially as a buyer, that you have a title search done on the property. That's not a requirement by law, but it's that's your best bet to know that you know what you're getting.
Because there could be a lien on the property. There's so much.
You could have it up for sale. I know that realtors, I'm not sure about that either, but I think they have to show that you have some proof of ownership. I don't know how that works before they can list, but it could be outside of a realtor or whatever. So first, due diligence for you as a buyer is nobody's going to tell you that you have to do this. I could say, hey, you want to buy my property for $10,000? Yeah, okay. And you can go and have a deed drawn up. You can draw up your own deed, but it's not recommended. But there's no law that says it has to be an attorney to draw up a deed. But a deed can be drawn up and conveyed to you. A young man came into the office, and I shared with him. He said, what do I need to do? I get these calls all day long. I need to add a name, or I need to do this, or they just come in and say, add my daughter's name to this property. And that's really a legal transfer of an interest in one of your most valuable assets. And it should be treated as such by getting an attorney to draw that up so that you've asked the right questions or the right wording. The simplest word as and, or and wife, or with right of survivors, those simple words change the ownership of the property. So it's vital. So first of all, buyer, do your due diligence, get a title search done. I always use this example. I'll tell you about the little guy, but if I was buying my mom's property, I trust my mom totally. I mean, with every ounce of my being. However, I don't know the people that owned it before her. Did they have a lien that is still kind of hanging out there and needs to be addressed? Or did they convey it fraudulently back in the 70s or whatever? So I would get a title search done from either an attorney, licensed attorney, or a title company that tells me that title is good, 50 years, 100 years, whatever I decide. So that's vital. There's no law that says you have to do that, but it's a good idea. A survey is a great idea. Very expensive, hard to get because folks are so busy, but to know where your markers begin and end is not, we don't know that.
I've lost plenty of land because of that.
Yes. So a survey is expensive, but it could be a bargaining tool in the buying and selling process. So, but know where your property boundaries are, because we don't know that. Even the assessor who draws maps has to just take what's sent in by deed and draw it out the best that he can. So a survey helps with that, and it helps you to know out there on the ground where your pins are. So that's a great idea. Also, have an attorney to draw up the deed, even if you decide not to do any of this other, because that one word could make a difference in the ownership of if something happened to me. Say we owned it together, and I passed. If we don't have the right wording there, at my death, half of it would go to my children. Maybe that's the way we want it to be, or my spouse. And the other half would be yours. So now you're owning it with some new different people. If we do it with right of survivorship, and I'm not an attorney, but simple words make the difference. So if we owned it together and it says tenants in common with right of survivorship and I pass, then it's solely yours. And my heirs are left out then. So that might not be what it just depends on everybody's circumstance. But trust your attorneys, trust your title companies, trust your surveyors, because they're going to guide you properly and take care of those things. Can you prevent fraud? There's bad actors. There's fraud in everything that I can think of. We talked about things that are meant for good are abused, and fraud plays into that sometimes, sadly. But just be proactive. Do your due diligence. I have a lot of people come and say, Gayle, would you see if there's any liens on this property? I say, well, you get what you pay for. Because I am a public records provider. Right. So I can set you down at a computer and let you look. But do you know how to look for liens in that chain? It could be the prior owner or the prior owner that had a lien. So vital, most important thing that you can have, not most important, but one of your best investments or biggest investments would be probably land or a home. Do your due diligence, protect that to your, so we as consumers have to be proactive in everything. Young man came in, I'm just buying property for my neighbor. I trust them. And I said, okay, well, he said, what I need to do? I said, well, here's the best case scenario is get a title search done. If you don't know where the property boundaries are, get a survey done, and then have an official closing or have an attorney draw up the documents for you after that. And he said, okay. And so he left, and he just got a deed drawn. He did go to an attorney and get a deed drawn up. Some people try to prepare their own, but anyway, but you can by law. He went to the attorney, got the deed drawn up. The attorney was not asked to do a title search. It was just a preparation of a deed. He came in, it was signed, notarized, had all the 8 things that I have to look for. He put it to record, went on his merry way, started cleaning up the land next to his. Within probably 6 months, I can't remember the timing, but the prior owner had, they didn't have knowledge because it was a spouse that had passed that had had a lien on the property. But anyway,
those men.
Yeah. So that lien that was on
that they had no knowledge of, was on there.
Yeah, and came back and foreclosed, and he lost his investment of, I think it was around $10,000, and he lost his land because he did not. And it's when I say attorney, people go, oh, that's $1,000 or whatever,
It's worth it.
Check. Well, I don't even know if it's 1,000. I couldn't say. Maybe one of our attorneys will call in, but I'm thinking a deed prep is probably 100, 125, 150. I'm not sure. Title searches, depending on how far back you want them to go, I would think you could get them for under 300, maybe. I don't know, and we could have another discussion after I find out that. But and then it's survey. Vital. Yeah. Vital. Yes, it is expensive to do those things, but you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. Yeah. I got a crazy one. So sometimes families get in spat.
Yes.
Or young folks come in and don't treat their elders like they should. Mm-hmm. And they try to take the land somehow maneuvered that. The same premise, right? They checks and balances. Mm-hmm.
So that opens up a whole lot.
Yeah, I know.
A whole lot of possibilities there. So if the elder has knowledge of what they're doing, I guess they could be tricked. If there's a bad actor in that family, which happens.
It happens.
They could be tricked into signing a deed in front of a good notary and not really know what they're doing. So sure. I would think that could also be challenged in court. So say you and I are sisters, mm-hmm. and I tricked my mom into deeding me the $1 million property. and you're upset about it, but she has dementia. Yeah. Maybe, possibly, I don't know, it's a legal question, but maybe you could take me to court and have that set aside because you have proof from the doctors that at the time that she signed that in front of a notary. Again, the notary has to ask some questions about, do you know what you're signing? Have they, I don't know. So, but you could challenge that also in court, possibly.
Sure, yeah.
We need to get a lawyer, like a panel on here.
That would be
Because that's all
fun.
Stuff that I don't know because I'm just a librarian.
You're a librarian. Just librarian. All right. What have we missed? I honestly, you've got the booking link, so you can come anytime you want to.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. Be proactive. We're not attorneys or a judge. We just put the book on the shelf.
Does that go in general sessions normally, or where does the court go? Do you remember? No, I don't. Yeah,
I don't know. There's civil in both. So I don't know if it starts at general sessions.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah, there's civil disputes in both circuit and chancery, I think. But so I don't know. But
I'm gonna have Ted Engel, our PA, our public defender, come in, and he's a nerd about that. Yeah. I'll ask him.
So I know I've rambled a lot and very vague because a lot of what we do is not like you've got great questions, but I don't know the answer. And I know a lot of people probably, well, what do you do? I said, well, I record a document.
I'm a librarian,
I'm
folks.
a librarian, and that's
Awful
great.
cute.
I'm proud of our librarians.
Awful cute librarian, too. Your staff is amazing.
Oh, well,
So
I wanted,
sad.
yeah. Connie had been, actually, Connie Gallagher was with the office. She was actually at the courthouse before I came in. So she's 32 plus years with the courthouse. But she retired in January, was her first retirement day. She came in, she did apply to come back. She can do contract labor with us, even through TCRS. So she applied to be our part-time person.
Good.
So she worked yesterday,
Yay.
first time since no, I'm just
Come
kidding.
on, Connie.
Come on, Connie. But hey, the Lord has this wonderful way of blessing us when you least expect it.
Amen.
So I was happy for Connie, but also like, what on earth am I going to do? Because this is, even though we just checked those 8 things, every document is different. Every document is very has a cause and effect, and of course we don't determine as long as it meets recording guidelines. So, but every document is different. Every document has different recording guidelines, and this, that, and the other. So I thought, this is so hard. And this Amelia Whitman Owenby had worked in the clerk's office. She was a legal assistant at AEDC. She had moved to, it's not AEDC, what is that? Ascend. Mm-hmm. And so she called me or texted me and said, hey, are you looking for part-time help? And I said, yeah. And I said, but it'd be a big pay cut for you. She said, well, I said, but Connie is retiring, so if you like it, So anyway, the Lord worked all that out, and she is quick as I don't know what.
Oh my goodness.
Computer-wise, I call her my IT person now instead of having to call Bob at Progress. I just say, hey, Amelia, what do I need to do here? And has really picked up on all of the. I listen to her with the customers, but that's my main concern is how you treat that person that walks in that door or calls on that phone.
Yes, ma'am.
And she's quick, and she learned that from Connie, which was a wonderful asset to our county. But still thankful we have her, and she's working a little bit part-time, even though she doesn't want to.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's key. You are very gracious host to everyone who comes through your doors.
Well,
and your staff is amazing.
Thank you. That's really what we want to do is when you come in, this is your office. It's not mine. I'm not the boss sitting behind a desk I want to help you. When you come in, you have a need. I may not be able to help you because you're asking legal questions, but I'm going to, before you leave, I said, I'm going to do just like my mama. Before I leave, she gives me a cookie or something. So we always
another reason to love to visit.
I said, I'm going to give you everything that I have. I'm going to pull these books, these records, and give you everything that I have in concerns with your concerns, but I don't know what you're going to do legally. And that's where you have to reach out to an attorney. Maybe just call and say, hey, can I buy 15 minutes of your time and ask this question? Do I have any legal rights to this property? Do I, whatever, what do I need to do? So I will give you your tools with the public records that we have, but I cannot answer your legal questions. Sometimes I practice law without a license. No, I'll just say, well, if it was me.
Which is fine, but once again, disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer.
Exactly. And I said, I'm going to get a tattoo that says that across my forehead, so to hide my wrinkles. But anyway, let's see. Oh, I wanted to talk just briefly about our records management.
Okay.
So when I came into the office, of course, this is 30 years ago, no computer system. And we started that right away. But as of COVID, so I'm not sure if it was 21, I guess, we had completed 100% completed, and this is a process that we did on a daily basis with a little scan machine here. We completed putting 100% of our records. There's books after books. I need to count the pages one day, estimate, but now they're all scanned into our computer system. So if you call and say, I need book W page or book C page 1 from 1852, boom, you have it.
No way.
So it's wonderful. We're just so thankful for that. We had a lot of help. We were really good stewards with the county's money. We tried to get creative in that. we had students that would come in and work, and we now work with the American Jobs Center in Tracy, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So we were able to, over the years, get all of those scanned in 100%. The big books, we didn't have the scanners to do, so my friend in Rutherford County allowed us to use their scanners, and so we would just go down and scan our documents as we could. And so now, after all this, and it's taken time and saved us a lot of money. I could have hired a company to come in and do it, and it would have cost thousands upon thousands, but no money wasted or on that, and we used our time wisely, and so we were good stewards with the county dollars. But we have 100% of our documents scanned in, and we have 100% indexed. However, they're indexed in old books, the older ones, so we're going back and actually inputting the data to tie to the document. So we're back to 1970, which is a lifetime for most people.
Sure.
And working on that daily, and we just implemented. So with that, there's a chance for human error, of course. So it's vital that your name is spelt properly on your document and when we index it. So now we've implemented through our wonderful computer service, OCR, which goes out and gets that document, that image that we've put in there, looks at what we've put in, and it kicks it back out and says, Gayle, I don't see GAIL on there. I see GAYLE. So, hey, I made a mistake. So we fix it.
Oh, wow.
So it's just it's like a third eye, because one person puts it in, one person checks it and certifies it, and now our computer system checks it just to make sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So just very proactive in trying to make the best better. I
love that one. Real quick, so how far does the records? Didn't our courthouse burn and we lost records, or no?
No. Well, nothing in 1990.
Okay.
Everything, I think, I can't speak for them, but the trustee, property assessor, a lot of the court documents were burned. The register's deeds at that time, and the county court, which is, I love that first book of county court, 1844.
Oh, it's so cool.
And you could go and read about everything that happened in our county. But those records were in a concrete vault, the Register of Deeds and the county clerks, and those were preserved. There was a fire, however, in the 1800s that we lost 4, I believe, of the register's books. So 1844 to 1852, we do not have. I've found, in researching, I've found that a lot of those documents, people brought them back in and re-recorded them. I guess they did a call out, please bring your deed in. So every so often in like 1901, whatever, I'll see a deed 1844 or 18, something during that time period. But I always had that mystery. So everybody that came, I would say, if you ever know or find out. So the Wonderful Historical Society, they found a newspaper article from 1890 something, and it talked about that fire, and it said that there were 4 books in the register's office and some others that were lost in that fire. So an 1800s fire, yes, but nothing that should affect your title. I mean, of course, we can't do research back to that time, which is sad. But we have 1852 is our first deed.
1852.
I think that's good title if you can go back to 1852.
You're doing okay.
You're checking it pretty good.
You're doing okay. All right. Well, any last words, Gayle? Thank you so much for coming
I just want to thank the public, and I want to invite you to the office. It's we try to make it really homey and welcoming.
It is the cutest. It is the cutest office in the courthouse.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. But it's your office, and any way that we can help you, we will. Again, we can't give you legal advice, and I know people are searching when they come, so I'm very kind with that. I understand where you're at, and you're wanting to take care of your children or your whatever the situation. But I work there, and I would seek counsel on any of that trust. I've got to start working on some things like that, at this age.
I know, man. Button it up.
But I don't know the legal thing to do in that, so I would seek counsel for that. And it does cost a little bit of money, but it's well worth the investment, I think, to protect your property
Sure.
and to protect your heirs and, all of that. So, but we'll help you with anything. We love to do, we get a lot of folks coming in with genealogy. I had a guy the other day, and we sat down, in between customers and this, that, and the other. But I told him, I said, well, I like to go fishing. I just like to catch. And we did find his deed. So we all had a very productive day. But it's pretty amazing, the history that's in that office, so.
Our history is cool, no matter. I mean, it's just
Oh,
cool.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think we're probably kin. I think I've gone back to, where's your, it's Winton, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
My father was a Winton. My mom was a Brazil.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a Winton in my line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cuz.
So Letice and I are cousins from a Sanders part of it.
Really?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Ah.
So yeah, I had a Winton from it was on the Fultz end.
Ah.
Yeah,
Well.
that married one. I want to say that was Smith. Well, anyway. No, that
Yeah.
was- All right. Well, I'm gonna send. We could talk about that forever. I'm gonna send Gayle out to spread joy and sunshine wherever she goes. I'm telling you, I have never seen her without a smile.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for this outlet. I'm sorry I rambled, but
No.
thank you. We need to get the word out. We need to try to help each other. And you and Stephen, thanks, Stephen, are a wonderful resource for that. So
We're happy to
appreciate you.
do it. We're all a community. All right. We're going to go on a quick break. Thank our sponsors. We'll be right back to our regularly scheduled program. As always, thanks for watching Morning on the Mountain. See you in a minute.
TennCare's new diaper benefit helps our youngest members and their families stay healthy and happy. If your child is younger than 2 and has TennCare or Cover Kids, they can get up to 100 diapers every month at no cost. To get diapers, visit a participating pharmacy. You don't need a prescription. Just show your child's pharmacy card at the counter. For newborns without a card, you can use the parent's pharmacy card. The pharmacy staff will check to see if you qualify and help you get up to 100 diapers for a month. TennCare will cover a variety of diaper brands and sizes to meet your child's needs. You can find a list of covered brands on the TennCare diaper webpage.
Diapers are available at Mike's Pharmacy, located at 740 Main Street in Tracy City. That's Mike's Pharmacy, 592-9190.
Piggly Wiggly, a supermarket chain since 1916, operates more than 600 locally owned stores, including the Mont Eagle location that now stocks the largest selection of fine wine, domestic and import beer in the area. Piggly Wiggly's farm fresh fruit is a sweet deal at everyday low prices. Piggly Wiggly stocks carefully selected, always fresh vegetables from the common to the unusual. All of the organic products we sell meet strict USDA guidelines. The Pig has a large meat department that to this date custom cuts and wraps its pork, chicken, and certified Angus beef to your request. Certified Angus beef brand is a cut above USDA Prime Choice and Select. With a large dairy selection of fresh milk and cheese products and your favorite drink products, you will never go home thirsty from the Pig. Visit the Piggly Wiggly Deli and put in your order for an outstanding selection of cheeses, salads, and deli meat products from Boar's Head brand and more. Be sure to check out our weekly special circular for great deals. That's the Piggly Wiggly of Mont Eagle, Tennessee.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Save gas, save time, save money, save a lot. The name says it all. Locally owned and operated, Save-A-Lot of Tracy City promotes shopping locally on the mountain. Come check out the clean, organized store where hometown folks like you save with weekly specials from the Weekly Shopper. Experienced employees choose our products very carefully and keep a large selection of fresh produce and fruit stocked, offering you the best deals for the best possible quality. With a primetime butcher on staff, expect fresh meat cut and packaged on location. Or request your favorite cuts while shopping name brands and Save-A-Lot brands in our frozen food sections, and fresh milk and dairy products always up to date. Friendly, helpful faces are on staff for any requests and questions you may have. Open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Stay on the mountain. Shop at your locally owned Save-A-Lot. The name says it all.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mircea Basaraba.
And I'm Mara Hutchings, nurse practitioner. Welcome to Southern Tennessee Cardiology. Here at Southern Tennessee Cardiology, we offer a variety of testing done right here in our office. Along with our highly trained and skilled staff, we have the latest technology for cardiac stress testing, high-tech ultrasound, and cardiac monitoring. Whether you are experiencing chest pain, palpitations, or need clearance for surgery, Southern Tennessee Cardiology is here for your cardiac needs.
Independently owned and locally staffed, the Caverns attracts visitors from all over the country. Bring your guests down for a cave tour, a cave concert, or a magical night under the stars at the Caverns Outdoor Amphitheater. Camping is an option too. Learn more at www.thecaverns.com, where the destination becomes a journey. Alrighty, so great to see Gayle. Is precious. I love her. Thank you, Barbara, for bringing that up. I learned something today, and I was in real estate back in the day. So, I'm always learning something. Thank you, Gayle, for keeping us on it. Two big takeaways from that conversation. Get an alert on your name or your property, mylandalert.com, and just sign up for alert on whatever property you're interested in knowing about, being kept up to date on that. So I'm going to go do that with mine, even though it's in a trust. It's good. So I learned that. And then the other thing is title search. Holy cow. And now I kind of want to know about notaries, because it's an important thing, and but it's really important. It's one of your major checks and balances, is to have good notaries who take their job seriously and can't be paid off. All right. Birthdays. I don't have anything on by the Grundy County Herald. Read the column. Not a lot going on right now. But there's things, it's about ready to hit. It's, Trails and Trilliums hits the season, April 4th through 6th. So that kicks off pretty much everything. Wildflowers, just all of it. All right, so let's go into birthdays. I didn't see a lot this morning. Where's my birthdays? Well, here it does it again. Birthdays. There it is. Okay. Stacy Wentland. Stacy is a rock star in the off-road vehicle world. Her and her husband have been out west, have been advocates, and they're just amazing rock stars in the off-world community. Stacy, just love her. Anyway, way to go, Stacy. 58. Dawn Plattenberg, happy birthday, Miss Dawn, a fabulous teacher. Kay Lee and Gary LaVon Winton. One of them Wintons. Happy birthday. 70. It says it's 73. Anyway, happy birthday, everyone. Our prayer list, we have, several that, everybody on the list. Let's pray for Stephanie Meeks. Speaking of Barbara and her concerns, her daughter has something going on that they really need to find out what's going on. So let's pray for that. Let's continue to pray for Danny and Dave Crabtree. That's Miss Jones, folks. She also needs an urgent prayer. And there's a bunch of unspoken prayers out there as well. Charlie McDowell on the road. He's got things to do. Let's find out about Secure Meeks and how her surgery went. And then we continue to pray for Daffy and Louie Nolan, Larry Parson, Frank Brawley, Charles Brown, Steve Melton, Cheryl Foshee, Granny Barb's babies, Frida, Turkey, Patsy Kennedy, Blondell Lockhart, Baby Denny and Joni Baby Denny. I'm going to keep them on for a little bit until I hear otherwise. Dolly Young, Dalchi and Christine Nunley, a.k.a. Uncle Alex. They're just in a journey. Paula Tate, Denny Childers, Erica Whitman, Johnny Braden. Let's definitely do an extra prayer for Johnny Braden. Ronnie Reeves, Ronnie Barnett. That's Sherry's honey. He had shoulder surgery. Gary Meeks, Mike Scott, Jimmy Brooks family, Claire Dean Parson family, Brother Crichton, and then Miss Ophelia, Miss Della. So Lord, please lift up our folks in prayer. Some just need an extra prayer. Some just needs to know that you are there. Show a sign. I had a sign this morning, and I just had to look up and say thank you. It's just amazing. We're so appreciative of your grace and your mercy and your love, and we just ask this extra special prayers for the folks mentioned in Jesus' name. We pray. Amen. All right, let's get to the phones. So far, so good. Morning. Morning. I know you guys are probably out doing...
Good morning.
There we go. Who's Roy Adams?
I don't know.
I don't know, but Roy Adams shows up on the caller ID. Hey, Roy, what's going on?
Somebody else said I was somebody different.
How long have you had this phone, this number?
Probably about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Technology is weird. But yeah, you're Roy Adams when that comes in. I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, this other guy, when I called, he says it shows up something else on his phone. Different number.
Wouldn't surprise me that you had the goofiest phone here. Yep.
I guarantee it.
Well, you're in the witness protection program.
Yeah, I probably am.
Someone said that to me the other day. I'm like, well, you got to do what you got to do. What do I need to know today, Junior? How's Johnny doing? We heard anything?
No, I hadn't heard anything. We're over here to Siskin to see Turkey.
Is Turkey is that the one by Erlanger? Is that the rehab?
Yeah, he's over here, and they moved him over here yesterday, I think.
Well, Steve Melton is over there.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. If you get it, I want to say it's like 270, room 277. Is that where you guys are at?
Yeah, I'm going to 405.
All right, hold on. Let me find out, because if you're there, I mean, that would be amazing. See how that little rascal is. 277.
277.
Yep.
Okay.
Out there, he'd be surprised. But yeah, well, you guys used to blow things up back in the day, didn't you?
Yeah, we had it going on.
That's what I know. Yeah, well, Steve was bulletproof, in my opinion, forever.
Hello.
Hey, girlfriend, what are you doing?
Hey, we're over here in Chattanooga.
All right, well, tell Turkey we said hey, and we've been praying for him.
I will.
Anything I need to know today?
I don't know of anything right off.
I told Junior, Steve's in there, in the same place, and he's in 277.
Who is?
Steve Melton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's this too?
Yeah, so the one right across the street from Erlanger, right?
Right,
yeah.
right.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So
So what number is he in?
277. Yeah, go give him a squeeze.
Okay, 277. I'll tell him.
I mean, you're right there.
Yeah, he's been here a good minute, ain't he?
Well, he just got moved. Well, he's been in the hospital a good minute. He just got moved over maybe a month ago, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's a positive sign.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's.
I didn't know you had to put your driver's license in. You have to do everything.
Oh yeah.
On the computer to get in the room.
Oh yeah, it's tight security over there, man.
Oh, Lord.
I've got to get my real ID. I don't know what's a federal building these days. Anyway, all right. Well, have fun. I'm so glad that you called, and nothing I need to know about today. How's Johnny? Did you hear anything about Johnny?
I haven't heard an update date yet, so maybe sometime today I can. Maybe he's doing better. Hopefully,
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, keep me posted. Have fun, and if you see Steve, just tell him I love him, man. We need him back.
Okay, that's right.
All right, honey.
Well,
say you bye. Aw. Morning.
How you doing, Mr.
Hey, Lily, what you doing? Hey, I talked to your girl yesterday, and she's going to guest host.
I went by see her for a few minutes yesterday evening, and I told her, and she said, "Oh, right." So she said she did talk to you, and so.
Yeah, 3 mornings, man. 3 mornings. A Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday.
Well, we do it.
I know. I'm super excited. Yeah. So, what else?
Yeah, I told her yesterday, and I said, Belle told me she wants you to be on the show, and I told her we will, and she said, "Oh, right." So, and she did tell me she talked to you, and she texted you, and so.
Yeah, and it's end of next month. At the end of next month.
I thought it was somewhere around April, so.
Yeah, it's April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd.
Okay, we're doing them 3 shows.
Yeah, I mean, it was kicking and screaming. I wanted to go, but it was kind of like I have to go. So.
It's 30th and 1st and 2nd.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. And that's so. Oh no, we'd give away money the week before, but I'm sure Misty will give away something.
We do something away. I know.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. All right. Well, anything I need to know today?
Well, I'll in the night and lay back down and.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to fly, but happy Thursday. It's going to be freezing out.
Yeah.
So wear a jacket.
Yeah. And you do look pretty this morning.
Oh, thank you. You can say that all day long. I that is wonderful. Well, our queen, if you see her, just tell her I love her, and I'm thankful.
Take her day off.
Oh, that's right. Today's Thursday.
And so we had that nothing date for Friday. So.
Well, good. All right, buddy. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
I will.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Miss Evelyn. What's up?
Well, I had a question for Gayle, but I guess I'll call her at the office.
Yeah. What? And she'll answer anything.
Yes, I'm sure she will. Decades ago, I did my own title search.
Mm-hmm.
And people were just allowed to do that, go back in the stacks, as we call them in the library, and do searching, and then find what we wanted, and take the record out to get a copy of the deed, pay for it, and walk out with it.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure with the speed of technology today, that's all changed.
Yeah, and there's some goofy things with liens. It's not, I agree. I mean, I think I could spend time and do the research myself. But, in the whole scheme of things, I think it's important to get professionals.
Well, yes, and it would probably be cheaper that way.
I think so, yeah. So, yeah, in the long run.
Yeah, in the long run. Well, I sent you a link for Jonathan Kane and Kahn, really, and John Hagee.
Okay.
You familiar with those two?
It sounds vaguely familiar. Oh, we were doing so good. Let's see what you had to say. Yeah, we were doing so good. Wonder what that is. All right, so she sent me something on here. Hagee. Let's see. Here we go. And it deals with, in Jerusalem, a woman's name was given, and then for the wife of, there's something else here. Let's see. Israel and the End Times. It's on YouTube. Jonathan Kahn and John Hagee, Amazing Prophecy on the War. On the war in Israel and End Times. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder how long that is. It's 28 minutes. I could definitely watch that. They have a really cute set, though. They've got a virtual reality set. That's super cute. Stephen does that right. All right, let's see if I can get on this. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Miss Ophelia. How are you, honey?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
So, well, it's going to get a little cold today.
Oh, yes. I'll be staying in, though.
Yes, ma'am. I wish I could stay in.
I'm staying in the bed under the cover.
Amen. Well, you've got beautiful covers, too.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Well, I hope you have a fabulous day today, Miss Ophelia.
Well, I hope you, too. I know y'all talking about the property. I said, it's good to know what about the property. I know we had problems, Mom and Daddy had their property and had where they received from my grandfather, Daddy's dad.
Yeah.
After he got it, from paying off all the taxes.
Yep.
And so, but still some people still tried to claim it.
Yep.
So we had garden planted over there, and they got an injunction against us, and so Mom and them finally got the injunction, left it where we could gather the vegetables and stuff, even though we did not take care of them to keep the weeds out. But yet, when we gathered them, they were no bug bites or anything. We had a table full of vegetables and stuff that we had gathered. We all gathered around the table. After we all gathered with Dad and Daddy on the table, Mama said, "Look at that. No bug bite at all."
And that's a rare thing. That's a rare thing in gardens.
No bug bite at all, because we had not been able to take care of it. I never will forget that picture.
That's so funny.
Both vegetables on the table, all on the table. The table was full.
Oh.
And us gathered around that Mama saying that. I never will forget that picture.
That is a beautiful picture in my mind. All those vegetables and all the family.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's a great memory. Thank you so much. Yeah, property. I know I've lost a lot of property because of things that were done back in the day, and it's better safe than sorry these days.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, all right, Miss Ophelia, you have a wonderful day, honey.
All right, you also.
All right, honey. See you. Bye. Yeah, like if someone pays tax, if you don't get it surveyed, and the lines aren't right, or if someone challenges them, there's quick claims that used to be done in the day. Lots of different things. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Charlie. Oh my goodness, you're sounding so much better. Hey, Joyce.
They put him on some different kinds of medicine, trying it.
All right. So, did it help?
It seems like it is.
You sound a lot stronger.
I don't know. I'm still pretty weak.
Are you? Oh my goodness. Is Joyce feeding you?
Absolutely.
So you don't have to worry about that. Well, it's supposed to be cold today.
Absolutely. I'm not going to be out, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you on that. Hey, how did Sakura's surgery go?
She's not surgery. She's having to take treatment.
Oh, treatment started. Thank you.
She's going to Nashville.
Okay.
So I don't know if they've done the treatment. Sure started them today, hon.
Okay. All right. And, all right, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Anybody else? Anything other updates?
Yeah, Bob Griffith from Griffith's Creek in pains on me, and he died.
Oh.
Fire line. Bob Griffith family.
Bobby Griffith.
Bob Griffith.
Bob Griffey.
Yeah, Griffiths Creek.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you, hon.
All right, I got you guys. You have a wonderful day.
You too, bye, hon.
All right, see you, bye. Morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
Hey, Barbara. Well, did you get your questions answered, or did it add more?
Well, I got some answers, and it did kind of add a few more concerns because the lady told me anybody could get one of them notary rubber stamps, and do all of that online. But I think probably what she was talking about was that, where you can register my land.
MyLandAlert.com.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For that alert.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what she was meaning when she said that counties had it set up where you could be notified, about somebody trying to say they bought your property.
Yeah, and that was exactly what she was talking about. MyLandAlert.com. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to kind of just put an alert on there for my property.
Right.
And
it's a good thing to do. I'm going to, I've got to help babysit this evening.
Right.
And I'm going to get Jazz to get on the computer and put mine in there because, like I told you, and Gayle did mention it, people called here and had my address wanting to know if I wanted to sell the property.
Oh, yeah.
And Lord knows I hadn't said anything about selling. I got nowhere to go.
They're just asking everyone. They'll go through property maps, online. You can do that now. Everyone wants to be here, and so they're looking to buy any way they can.
Well, I could tell by their voice they was foreigners.
Yeah,
and
foreigners are buying up our land.
They throwed up a scam alert to me,
Yeah, no, I totally agree. No, that land alert, definitely, and I would put your name on there, legal name, as an alert. I think it's kind of like, it sounds like kind of like a Google alert. Have you ever done one of those?
No.
Okay, so Google alerts, like if you want to know, like I have a Google alert on my name, so if anything goes online, I'll get a digest of things with my name on it, so I know what's out there.
Yeah.
I can put in, Tennessee legislature, Monteagle, whatever word or phrase I want, and it will scrub the online. And every day I get a digest of what news was on for those words. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, with technology nowadays, I'm like the saying is, it's helpful, but I think it's also a curse.
Well, it is. I mean, there's always two sides of the sword on that one. We can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Right.
So we're going to have to know it in order to keep from destroying us.
Right. I mean, like Gayle said, mentioning that ordeal with Graceland.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. That had some cojones there.
Well, yeah, but I tell you, there was a scammer wanting to talk to me, and he wanted me to send an email claiming he was in the military. Wanted me to send an email to the headquarters saying that I was his wife and I was sick and I needed him to come home and send all these official-looking documents.
Yeah, just nothing. Unless you know it, nothing is... Oh, it's just horrible. You can't believe anything you get in the email.
Right. And
or on the phone, or in the mail.
Well, they can copy anything they want to off, and change the names and all the wording they need to change, and I said that's just crazy. But
yeah, and like I said, that's why I do, like for myself, I do the Google alert. But that mylandalert.com would definitely give me a peace of mind.
Yeah, me too. So I'm going to do that, and I want to thank you and Gayle for having this program this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
It's beneficial to me, and I'm sure that other people watching is beneficial to them too if they're property owners.
Yep. I mean, seriously, it's something that you don't think about until you have to think about it. And so it's better.
Exactly.
It's better to be proactive. And so I appreciate you, asking the question. I'm happy to follow up with anybody's, concerns and get the information.
Well, I appreciate you doing that because, it scared me when they called to me wanting to buy my property. And
yeah, no kidding. Well, now you know that they have to be pretty slick in order to do it. You have to buy off a notary. And those rubber stamps don't work because, the notary has, things on it that will, it's a checks and balance. So notary, anyone I guess could buy off a notary. But I'm sure
they could if they can pull off a scam, which they didn't get it fully pulled off, but they sure the heck done a good job at trying on Graceland.
Like I said, like a Graceland, that is the most excellent case study. They did it. They thought no one was going to look. It was such chaos. They were going to slip it under. How do you slip under Graceland? And it took lawyers, though. See, that's the hard thing, Barbara, that I don't like, is that anytime something legal is involved, you have to have a lawyer. Doing it yourself, it is a rare thing that you will win if you're doing it yourself.
Right.
It's just the fact. Trust me.
And there has been some crooked lawyers.
And there's crooked anybody. The devil is in everybody. It's just up to. Honestly, we all have the devil in us somewhere. We just, have to be prepared to fight it.
Somebody greedy wanting more money, to get a big cut of money out of something,
The devil dangles things in front of me all the time. Ooh, look at that shiny dollar amount. Are you going to sell your soul for that?
Right.
He's always on everyone wanting, the easy way or quick money or something. He's always there.
Yes, he is. He's a smart old bird.
And he's pretty, too. He's shiny pretty.
Yeah, my father-in-law told us one time that he said he met the devil face to face.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he is the prettiest little man he'd ever seen. That he was standing under an apple tree and had on a pair of overalls.
Mm.
And I believed him because he was a good Christian man. And he said he met him face to face.
Well,
and they said he's beautiful.
He's beautiful. Everything's shiny and wonderful until if you don't follow the principles laid out, in 10 Commandments, let's just say, things can go very wrong.
Exactly. Discern the spirits, honey.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, because he's slick. Anyway, Barbara, thank you so much for bringing up this question. Like I said, I'm happy to explore anybody or anything to give us, information.
Yes, and I appreciate you doing that.
You're very welcome.
I told Stephanie about the acidophilus.
Oh, good. Yes.
Her capsules.
Uh-huh.
And Dee Dee was able to get her, not the capsules, but the acidophilus tablets.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That was good advice from Miss
Heard
Evelyn.
nothing this morning. I don't know if they've helped her or not yet, but
it's worth a try.
Keep hoping and praying. It's worth a try.
It's worth a try. I mean, I know you said it bumfuzzled you, and
right.
But Miss Evelyn is a great source of knowledge, and that's if anyone has had similar things, that helps knowing that.
Yes, it does, and I appreciate her calling that in and telling us. Like you said, it's worth a try.
Yeah, I mean,
they were very expensive or anything, and I told her to try that sweet acidophilus milk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's there for a reason.
So if it's esophageal spasms, maybe it'll work.
Maybe, right? And if that's what it is, then so be it. I mean, at least it's a lot better than a clot or something.
Yeah, but the tests are showing that it's not her heart.
Wow. Well, Barbara, keep us posted on that, and thank you for the opportunity to learn some information.
Yeah, thank you, and you have a blessed day.
You have a wonderful day, sweetheart. Thank you. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, I called you back. I don't think I mentioned that they had a person at first had 7 years to be able to obtain their property back. Am I paying the taxes? Had 7 years. Then they dropped it down to 5 years.
Oh, is it 5 years that they can pay taxes on it, and then it becomes theirs?
Yeah, pay their taxes. Pay the taxes. It was on the taxes. Whoever took it from taxes and obtained it back.
Well, that's good. There's a lot of, it's been a long time. I was in real estate in 05, 06, no, 06, 06, 07, 06, 07, and going into 08. And they had different rules back then. Things have changed.
I don't know if it's added today, but now that's the last thing I heard, that it was down, it moved down to 5 years.
Yeah, okay. And it used to be where if you had a fence on a piece of property that wasn't yours, if it's on there for X amount of years, then it's yours. Something about that and a fence. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, land is your most valuable asset if that's what you own.
Yes.
So protect it. Well, thank you for calling that back. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right.
All right, honey. See you. Bye. All right, that is it. 9:19, Miss Evelyn. I'm so sorry about cutting you off, and I'm so sorry about cutting anybody off. But we'll be back tomorrow. I've got a call from Dr. Manny Sethi. He's having that Healthy Tennessee health fair. Healthy Tennessee fair. Well, anyway, it's at the Altamont Baptist Church coming up next week, and it should be amazing. So we're going to hear more about that. I believe his mama, who's also a doctor, I think she's retired, will be at the Healthy Tennessee fair. So you'll get to see her. If any of us old folks who remember her when she was birthing babies and everything in Hillsboro, you get to, it's like old home week. Dr. Manny is super cool. Anyway, he's going to be calling in. We're going to coordinate that, and he'll be calling in, talking about that, giving us updates, tell us what to expect. And it'd just be great to talk to him. Dr. Manny's been on here before when he wrote his book about being in, immigration in America, and fascinating photo. All right, you guys go out there. It's going to be freezing today. Enjoy, go out there and spread joy, your own joy and sunshine, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. As always, thanks for watching Morning on the Mountain.